Welcome back to The Voice of Real Life, where today we delve into a tragic and haunting event from 1983, a story marked by broken innocence and a horrifying murder. Before we begin this unsettling tale, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel. On a serene June 14, 1983, the town of Auburn, California, basked in the warmth of a beautiful day. Among its residents was Anna Brackett, an 85-year-old woman full of life and memories, who longed for many more days just like this one. Sadly, fate had a different plan, and this day would tragically mark the end of her life. Anna was born on December 14, 1897, in Burlington, Vermont. She had spent her life cherishing moments with her late husband and their son Carl. After her husband passed away, Anna decided to relocate from her home in Santa Monica to the peaceful surroundings of Auburn. By 1983, she had settled into a comforting routine, enjoying her retirement as a seamstress on the quiet tree-lined Quartz Drive. Little did she know that her life would be cut short on what seemed like an ordinary day. That fateful afternoon, Anna's son Carl came to visit her with plans to take her to the hospital for a checkup with their friend, James Wedgeworth. As he approached her home, Carl rang the doorbell but received no answer. Growing increasingly concerned, he looked through a front window and was met with a horrifying sight, his mother lying motionless on the floor, surrounded by a pool of blood. Panic set in as he rushed next door, pleading with a neighbor to call for an ambulance. While they awaited help, Carl could not stand idle. He broke a window and entered his mother's home, desperate to reach her. Inside, the reality was grim. Anna lay lifeless on the living room floor, and the signs of a brutal struggle were evident. She had suffered a staggering 28 stab wounds across her neck, throat, and back. Defensive wounds on her hands and arms indicated her desperate attempts to fight off her assailants. Tragically, one of the wounds had pierced her aorta, leading to rapid blood loss. Nearby, two knives were discovered, one with a broken handle and the other severely bent, highlighting the vicious nature of this murder. Additionally, her purse had been rifled through, suggesting a robbery gone wrong. Detectives were dispatched immediately to investigate the scene. They gathered information from neighbors who recounted seeing two teenage girls knocking on doors the previous day, asking for a glass of water. One neighbor, Richard Bertucci, vividly remembered the encounter. "I was sitting on the couch when two girls knocked on the door. My wife answered, and one girl made a motion to come inside. But upon seeing me, she turned around and told my wife they must have had the wrong house and left." Although none of the neighbors had allowed the girls into their homes, Anna was known for her kindness and compassion. Her family feared that she might have welcomed the girls inside, unaware of the danger they posed. Detectives began to suspect that these two unknown girls might be involved in Anna's tragic death, and their suspicions grew stronger when another neighbor reported seeing two girls fleeing from Anna's house just moments before her body was discovered. In a desperate bid for information, detectives reached out to the public, urging anyone with knowledge of the girls to come forward. Within hours, a wave of tips began to pour in, with many identifying the girls as 15-year-old Cindy Collier and 14-year-old Shirley Wolf. The two had met at a Fair Oaks foster group where Wolf was living after being removed from her home due to a court order. Collier, known for her repeated runaway attempts and a troubled history of arrests for drug offenses and theft, had just been released from juvenile hall on the day of Anna's murder. Those who knew Collier described her as the more dominant and assertive partner in crime. She had a history of kleptomania and struggled with substance abuse. One concerned mother recalled, "I used to tell my daughter to be careful around her. I never left anything valuable lying around when she was around." On the other hand, Wolf had endured a harrowing upbringing filled with abuse and neglect, having been subjected to sexual abuse at the hands of several family members from a young age. Despite teachers' recommendations for psychiatric help, her mother chose to remain silent, leaving Wolf to navigate her trauma alone. Once detectives identified Collier and Wolf, they swiftly headed to Collier's home on Forest Hill Avenue in the early hours of the morning. Around 2:30 a.m., they found the two girls asleep in a bunk bed. As they separated the girls for questioning, detectives stumbled upon blood-stained clothing in the room, alongside a diary that contained a chilling entry. "Today, Cindy and I ran away and killed an old lady. It was lots of fun." Based on the incriminating evidence found in the bedroom, Collier and Wolf were arrested. They were mandated to undergo psychiatric evaluations before the legal proceedings could continue. During their first court appearance, Judge Wayne Wiley took the time to explain the forthcoming evidence, but was interrupted by Wolf, who curiously inquired, "Do you have any?" The judge replied, "I don't have any," explaining that it would be the prosecutor's responsibility to prove their case. Wolf retorted, "Can they prove it now?" Despite her skepticism about the evidence, both girls eventually confessed to Anna's murder, detailing the harrowing events that led to that tragic afternoon. According to their accounts, Collier had met Wolf for the first time while visiting a friend at the foster group. After leaving, Collier took Wolf with her, and together they set off for Quartz Drive. They spent some time lounging by the pool before devising a plan to escape Auburn, which involved stealing a car. As they wandered through the neighborhood, Anna's home was the fifth one they approached. When Anna graciously opened the door and invited them in for a glass of water, she unknowingly sealed her fate. The two girls engaged in conversation with Anna for over an hour and a half, but when Anna's phone rang, they realized she intended to leave the room. In that moment, they made a horrifying decision. When Anna returned to the living room, they informed her of their intentions to kill her. Collier handed Wolf 2 kitchen knives, and the attack began. Wolf was the first to strike, stabbing Anna in the neck and expressing her chilling rationale. "I just cut the side of her neck because it only takes 20 seconds before you're dead." Yet Anna did not succumb immediately. In a panic, Collier joined in, delivering several punches and further stabbing her. Throughout the ordeal, Anna pleaded for her life, crying out that she was dying. Wolf callously responded, "Good." After the murder, the two girls attempted to steal Anna's car, but were unable to start it. In a state of panic, they fled on foot, returning to Collier's home. During their confessions, Collier shockingly described the murder as enjoyable, stating that they felt no remorse and even wanted to kill again. They expressed a desire to celebrate, laughing about what they had done. As psychiatric evaluations commenced, Collier and Wolf remained at Placer County Juvenile Hall. Their behavior grew increasingly erratic as they made threats against the staff, claiming they would escape or harm themselves or others. Consequently, they were placed on 24-hour suicide watch and kept in cells secured with leg chains. Eventually, both girls were deemed competent to stand trial. In the end, Collier and Wolf were convicted of Anna's murder. Collier served 9 years at a California Youth Authority facility in Ventura, where she managed to earn a junior college degree with a focus on law. After her release on August 20th, 1992, she settled in Northern California and became a mother of 4. On the other hand, Wolf faced a longer sentence of 12 years. Throughout her incarceration, she sought to reconnect with her family, but found little support. After reaching out to her estranged father, she learned that her mother had left, and her father ceased communication after a brief period of contact. Despite facing legal challenges after her release, Wolf has reportedly made significant strides toward a positive transformation in her life.